Hi, it's me and Papa Smurf again. I'm still kind of struggling with how to judge and characterize games, give you kind of my overall view of games. Sort of come up with an idea of a point scale, I guess. I figure that well, let me show you. So I've got a couple things here. Overall, packaging of the game, I figure that's important. How it looks, how easy it is to set up. I feel that's kind of important. Some games take a long time to set up. How easy it is to read and understand the instructions. That's important. And then how easy it is to play the game. And then at the end, so I figured 2 points for each of those categories, total of 8. And then I'll give myself an overall opinion of the game. I can give a score of 0 to 5 on that, which would equal out to, the highest you get is 13, or 8, just for those categories or less. That's kind of how I'm trying to do it, work it out. So my game I wanted to do this with was Frogger Frenzy. And it is similar, in fact it's almost identical to Hungry Hungry Hippos, except instead of hippos, it's got frogs. Frogs are right here. You push them like that. You got your marbles. They eat the marbles. They go in the tray. They fall in the tray, and you just tell the marbles are all gone. Count up your marbles and stuff. Not really much for instructions. Just a little bit there. It's pretty self-explanatory. So as far as the packaging of the game, it's got a good box. Seems to be packaged okay. And then so I give it 2 points for that. It's basic. Most games will get that. Most they're packaged. They go through a lot of thought process to how they want the packaging to be packed, game to be packed. It's easy to set up. It's pretty much set up. I didn't have to do anything to it. Some games you gotta assemble something, no assembly. It was basically set up like this. You had to just unopen the package of some marbles. I put my own Ziploc baggie in there after you open up the package that they're in. The package is no good because you got to rip it open. It's like 2 points. How easy it is to read the instructions? Well, there wasn't much instructions to read, so 2 points. How easy is it to play? Very easy to play. You just got, it's 4 people, 2 players. Again, you basically just, it's very easy for kids. I think it's got an age limit, 3 years and up. Obviously, because you got marbles involved, you want to make sure that the kids, don't swallow the marbles. So my overall opinion of the game, it's a good game for kids. Simple. I'm not really going to give it too much more than that. I'm probably going to give it a 2. Give it a 2 for my overall opinion. However, to me, it's just a copycat of Hungry Hungry Hippos, except with frogs. So overall, I'd give it a 10. Give it a 10. I feel it's just a game little kids love to play. It's kind of fun. All right, that's my that's kind of how I'm going to try and grade my games. Give or take a little bit more of adjustment, but I'm still, kind of, if something else comes out. If you got any suggestions, let me know. Okay, thank you.